And Team Liquid, they've come out of nowhere. This is the first regional we have seen from them this season, and what a performance it's been from them so far. Achieves neither org has ever fielded a team at an RLCS major, and whoever wins this match goes in pole position to making London.
Yeah, definitely a lot of questions to be asked and answered for both teams. Obviously, Team Liquid, like they mentioned on the desk, 2 new players, Oski and Atao. It's going to be a good one. And if anything that I saw in that highlight reel is that there's a lot of potential for some sick goals between these two teams. So really curious to see how the defenses react to all the options that both offenses are able to create here.
I've no doubt that we are going to see some absolute beauties as the series progresses. You win this one, you guarantee at least top 4 and maybe even better. So much to fight for. And we've already seen from Team Liquid, this new version of Team Liquid, that they have the fight in them. Even in qualification, they had to get a reverse sweep in the deciding game of making this regional. And then yesterday, going into that game 5 versus Dignitas, they played so well. But as I'm talking, Karmine Corp achieves show what they're about.
You gotta see this perfect pass from Astral. Saw Nolly all the way on the other side of the field, and way to get up there and make sure it had the pace to beat the last man. No guarantees, but with how well he put that ball across, all Nolly had to do was make sure it was in between the posts. Beautiful throw from Astral.
Karmine Corp, who yesterday were frustrated by Semper eSports, would have felt like they were the better team despite losing that series. And the reason they look like the better team so often was incisive passes like that. They really feel like they understand each other on the pitch. I feel like they need to see the ugly game, as that pinch goes about 300 miles per hour from Atao. But it's a decent start there from Karmine Corp as Astral keeps it forward again. Into the corner he goes. Nolly, look at the pace that he's showing. Atao with a decent touch there to send them home. Can Iconic do anything with this flip reset? Not quite, but so far, Karmine Corp knocking on that door.
Ooh, a little too aggressive here for Liquid. Thankfully, that shot going to be just wide. Team Liquid was really trying to press there, put the pressure on that K-Corp defense, and they just weren't positioned properly on the field, gave up a little too much space. But this touch there, dished out to Oski, taken away by Itachi. Well played, everybody, and Team Liquid starting to reassert their dominance here on the offensive side of the pitch.
Ooh, there was a Chronic in the air. He just had to win that race, but couldn't quite do it. And now comes Nolly. The game being played at 300 miles per hour. It's so quick.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh, no. A massive mix-up, and it's 2-0.
That's just unlucky. I mean, Oski actually stiffs this challenge. I mean, it was well played, but Nolly just sat right back on it. And Atao doing the right thing, trying to get it back across his net with pace, but unfortunately right back into his teammate. Just tipped it in the goal. That was tragic.
We do know, though, that this team can overcome their struggles. I mentioned the qualification reverse sweep they had to get, and yesterday against Dignitas, what I was going to say was they lost game 3 4-0 and game 4 3-0, I think it was. Everything was going against them before winning the decider. So don't count them out too early. It's a chance to almost squeezes into the near post there. Oski gets it towards Nolly, a passing opportunity back to him. Oski beating Nolly, and what I'm seeing so far achieves, there's a lot of attempts at outpacing the opponent. Nobody is waiting for 50-50s in this one.
Not to mention as well the pace that they're both trying to do it, both teams. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers how aggressive and how far forward they're willing to go. Nolly taking a big bite out of Oski there, giving the chance to go out of their own half for K-Corp. But again, Team Liquid really starting to settle in nicely here in the back half of game 1. Haven't been able to find the back of the net yet, but you said it, the pace certainly increasing for them, and it's making it difficult to hold on. Great pass across, but Atao not ready for it.
Yeah, that was really tough for Astral. Had to have good communication there to know that nobody was arriving. As a Chronic sets up Oski, Atao is just waiting underneath, wants to get involved. Good to see Oski on the ball after that disgusting double flip reset that we saw yesterday. Deservedly the goal of the day in our pre-show. Beautiful moments in this game of Rocket League that we always seem to witness. But Nolly does have 2 goals to the good, so we can just take a bit of time there, but Astral almost gets caught out. Nolly actually lost control of that ball. Oski tries to set up Atao, who has to backflip. The Chronic, though, will keep the attack going. Liquid, after a slow start, getting themselves more in this one.
Yeah, they just were, unfortunately, a little bit lazy there from a Chronic at the midfield. Kind of just dumped it back when he needed to buy a few extra seconds, but they regained possession either way. And right now, you got to give a lot of credit to the K-Corp defense. Astral especially has been getting up in front of the net, taking away some of the more dangerous opportunities into the middle of the pitch. But overall, across the board, Liquid, despite having a lot of pressure, really struggling to get the ball in many scoreable spots. There's a chance over Astral, and Itachi just able to dodge it. Atao was trying and hoping he would get that bump or the dunk, but not quite.
Nolly outpacing a Chronic there, but Atao should be able to deal with that one fairly simply. Needs to get something going for Team Liquid now. So good to see that org involved this late in a competition. Only once have they made the top 8 since joining the scene. So welcome to the big boy table, Team Liquid, but you are losing this one. Astral could make it even worse. He makes it through, and surely game 1 is going to Karmine Corp.
Tough one to handle here if you're the defense. Astral just goes across, steals a boost, and it takes a perfect bounce right to him. And way to not think too hard about it. Just see what the defense gives you, put it right under him. And I have to agree with you. Game 1, gonna go K-Corp's way. I'm surprised to only see about, I don't know, 450 score or so for Team Liquid if I had to guess on my math, because it really feels like they've spent so much time on this orange half, but clearly not really generating a lot of scoring opportunities. As Nolly again going to be cherry picking downfield, and he'll beat the defense much the same way.
He absolutely loves playing in front of the ball, and Itachi loves seeing his teammates in front of him and having a pass to make. He is the midfield influencer, is Itachi, and Nolly, his accuracy is absolutely devastating. 4-0, and what I think I really like about this performance from KC Achieves is that they had a period in the middle where Team Liquid were coming back and they had to do some defending, and they did the ugly stuff. And that's what's earned them this flawless victory so far.
Absolutely. Definitely agree with you. I was really wondering how the defenses were going to handle it. And certainly it hasn't been this super high-powered mechanical onslaught just yet, but I have no doubt that that will eventually occur. But you do have to give a lot of credit to K-Corp, not really getting phased. Also having to avoid a lot of physical play coming out from Team Liquid. And that's no easy feat, especially when Team Liquid has been, like you said, increasing their pace as much as they have at the start of game 1. And got to give them credit. The defense definitely got the job done for them.
Can Liquid get themselves one? Not quite there, as a Chronic can't get enough power on that ball, and it's more good defending from Karmine Corp. Look at Astral, he's enjoying himself. Just warping around the pitch at Mach 10. Finding Ollie maybe for one more if he can get the angle. I don't think he'll be able to. This one will end 4-0 for Karmine Corp. It wasn't complete dominance from beginning to end, but when Liquid had the upper hand, Karmine Corp defended well.
And the other part of that as well, a big piece is keeping control of the ball. It's so easy to not be able to catch some of those clear centers, I should say, going across your midfield. And if you can't keep that ball next to you and really force Team Liquid to come try and take the ball off you, you can really just end up dumping it repeatedly back towards that midfield. And eventually, they're going to be able to move the ball left and right to a point where you can't get it. But really do think K-Corp did an awesome job of, generally, if they could, they took the ball, forced it on an air dribble, really made the opposition come and take the ball away from them. And it's no easy thing to consistently find openings to try and score from when the defense is really just trying to limit as many things as they can, however they did it. So yeah. Love the way K-Corp played defense. Just like to see him break out a little bit more and kind of equalize possession. But if game 1 ends, 3-0, you can't really fault however they did it.
Yeah, 4-0, even better. So happy days completely there.
That's right.
For Karmine Corp. Yeah, exactly. Not only got his hat-trick, you've taken his hat-trick away from him, Achieves.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why no one backs the English players, because of you saying, oh, I don't remember that last goal that he scored. Anyway, game 2 begins with Karmine Corp looking much the better team in game number 1. Certainly more able to take their chances, but we know, those who've been watching so far this tournament, know that Liquid are about much more than that. This pace that they're showing can cause some danger to so many teams. Chronic tries to get across. He wanted the faintest of touches. That would have been brilliant.
That would have been unstoppable. Would have redirected into the top of the net. There's the pass down to a Tau. And again, Astral, that's what makes him so valuable. His speed and his ability to read the game so quickly. He's a tough guy to get it by on either side of the ball.
Yeah, it would have been Armad-esque had a Chronic been able to redirect that one at such a flat level. But as it stands, here's Astral going down the other side. Great touch again from a Chronic. He wasn't able to make the one earlier, but a really important touch in defense right there. Tau's called into action himself. It's actually going across the map to the side. Who's going to win this race? There's just so many of these quick races in the air. All we need is one team to get a couple of them in a row, and their opponent's defenses could be broken straight through. Always searching for each other with these hits.
I don't think that was the touch Oski wanted, but it was good enough. It was towards a Chronic. So genuinely, I think at this point, this might be the most neutral possession has been throughout the entire series. No one really able to make sure that they're the ones in control of the ball, really just trying to make sure they've got enough space and don't get caught out of position. And Astral trying to change pace of pace right there, keep it next to him, force Team Liquid to come and take it away.
I mean, this was my worry for Team Liquid, that they wouldn't be able to be involved in these more nitty-gritty kind of games. They're so young. A Chronic, who rose to prominence as a massive dunk from Nolly, comes in last season with BS Plus competition. He was the young genius back then. Now he's the old man of the team at 16 years old, trying to show the ropes to Tao and Oski, right? I mean, there's not a lot of experience in this team, but we're seeing now that they can slow things down when they have to.
Absolutely, and I do really like the approach that, in general, Team Liquid has. It's just a matter of can you crack the nut that is K-Corp, as Astral, he doesn't quite have enough boost to really think about turning that into something.
Well, he had 0 there. I think he's just trying to keep Team Liquid guessing, which is nice. The game is looking a little bit predictable. It seems like an overtime almost, so Astral's trying to wrestle the initiative back to himself and to his team. I don't mind it. A bit risky doing that with 0 boost. Eventually, the ball does fall for Liquid, though. Now they have some attacks of their own. Chronic hits the crossbar, and then the post. The Tao, does he come in against Astral? Astral's doing everything he could to just stay behind the ball there. Still, the attack continues. A Chronic wants to keep it going. Itachi gets an all-important touch, but Nolly can't get the next one. Finally, though, Karmine Corp clear their lines, and now it's a Tao that has to do some defending. Oski's underneath it awkwardly. Still, we remain at 0-0.
Tragic ricochet off the corner of the post, and K-Corp, I think they got away with one. That was definitely a wide open shot. It was just a matter of did it go in. And Astral, actually a slight mistouch there, ends up giving possession away to Team Liquid. See if they can turn this into anything. Oski denied by Itachi. And Chronic, one more shot, definitely towards the middle of the net. No problem for Astral, though, right there for it.
Yeah, wouldn't have expected a goal from that shot, but just trying to keep the pressure on Karmine Corp because they have managed to get some for themselves. Have Team Liquid. A Chronic's underneath this one, but leaves it. I don't mind that too much. Just let the ball pop out to a Tao. Nolly is desperate for a clean touch. Karmine Corp haven't had one in a while. It's Liquid that seems to be winning this battle of pace right now. But Karmine Corp have done priority number 1, which is not to concede in this phase of Team Liquid pressure. Now they have a chance themselves. Nolly to the ceiling, then tries to pinch it towards the net. Itachi somewhat gets in Astral's way. Astral could do something with it, but not too much.
They do keep the ball, though. And of course, right as I say that, Oski, the one to come through with the touch, doesn't quite have the boost to go race Itachi for it, though. So again, really, it's just been a deadlock in and around this sort of middle portion of the pitch. No one really finding some sort of way to finally beat a defender and actually get in the way of the support crew.
A first goal that you feel is much more important for Team Liquid than Karmine Corp, considering the obliteration that was Game 1. Team Liquid really need to start winning these awkward little matches. That's great from a Tao, almost past one, but the ball pops up behind him, and Itachi doesn't score. From my angle, it looked like he could turn that one around, but I guess it wasn't to be.
I think he ran out of boost, or perhaps the ball was simply too fast and he just couldn't get all the way around it. I thought for sure they were going to score as well. As a Chronic ground pinch off the mark and tipped out to the corner.
Lovely demo, though. Keeps the attack going for Team Liquid. 20 seconds left. So near to a complete stalemate in this second game. But how's this bounce going? Can a Chronic read it? More importantly, yes, he can. And Itachi does take him out of the game. Nolly tries to get underneath the tower. It's more good defending from Team Liquid. 10 seconds left. And finally, Karmine Corp have some pressure of their own until a Chronic completely kills it. Sends the ball the other way. Surely this one is a 0-0 overtime. It feels like one, unless a Tao onto the backboard. Here comes a Chronic, but it's a brilliant save at the death.
Had to hold your breath there. If you were a K-Corp fan, you never knew what was going to happen. Great save on defense. Nolly with a chance trying to close it out in OT. And Tao too quick to recover. And I was not ready for that 0-second option.
The game seemed to almost be drifting into an overtime, and then suddenly there was absolute pandemonium. Again, there's more. This time it's Karmine Corp causing it. Nolly with a second touch. Oski with such an awkward read there off the ceiling. The defenses are holding strong, but this is not easy to hold out. These balls coming from such awkward angles and weird pinches. How is this still 0-0?
I could not believe Astral did not just outmuscle the defense there. I thought he had the line. I thought he had the momentum. And just, nope. Squeezed it right across the goal. Flip reset into the corner. Beats the defense. Itachi just has to beat Oski. And unfortunately, he just gets a piece of it. The defense for Team Liquid going to survive at least one more go-around.
Yeah, you wonder if this attack from Karmine Corp is just starting to run out of steam, but that pass could change it. Astral has about 20 boost left. They can't get this angle. I think Team Liquid should be able to consolidate their boost position sometime soon, but they're desperate for one to spawn. You saw a Tao there. No, he went over it, but it didn't actually spawn. They're still a little bit low, and now Astral can come forward. A Chronic is just waiting on that backboard. It's been all Karmine Corp since the overtime began. These transitions can be so important for Liquid, but they're being closed down. A Tao with yet another save. Liquid are holding on a cheese, but they are defending valiantly.
Really kind of thankful that Astral wasn't able to really plaster that one somewhere a lot more dangerous in the net. But I do have to say, I mean, if there's one thing that Europe is absolutely brilliant at, it is great first touches that give themselves options. Nolly somehow able to recover there. Itachi dodging a demo. Chronic beat everybody. A towel for free. And oh, no, you're kidding. Oh, it's tragic.
No. Everything was done except the finish. There still could be one. No, they've had to go back for boost. A good pass, though, to Oski. A towel with a huge miss there. The pass was a little bit high, sure. But with 2 Karmine Corp players demoed from the pitch, surely that one had to be the moment that Liquid got their first game in this series.
Now you think about the swing and mindset. You're talking about, you know, not having too much experience. It also kind of leads you to think, what happens if they lose this one? Do they have the mental stamina built up to really handle I don't want to say a throw because it's not quite a throw, but a dropped win like that.
Reminder as well, whoever loses this series is out of the competition. Top 6 isn't a bad start, but you still want to do better when top 4 is just facing you tantalizingly if you can just get past your current opponent. Itachi with a delayed dodge over the top of a couple of Liquid players. Now Astral, ball dashing around the side, wants to get some pace on the ball. It's Oski that it falls to. Itachi sends up Nolly. Nolly has got these double taps in his locker. Can he set himself up? Not quite, but it falls to Itachi. Atao didn't want that ball to go over the top of him. It's more good play from Liquid, and the pinch gets them out. It's definitely waves of pressure per team. Karmine Corp are keeping theirs going, and that one goes to the backboard. Good shots from KC are really stretching the Team Liquid defense.
Yeah, and that's all coming from K-Corp really trying to push forward and be as far forward as they can in the third man role. Actually, Team Liquid runs into each other, and Itachi, I don't think he was quite ready to be able to take a shot there. And then just dribbled one into the corner. But the third man at that midfield line has been playing so far forward for K-Corp, and if they're making the right reads, they're definitely increasing that level of pressure on Team Liquid. Itachi with a fake, kind of stiffs one against the Tau, but you have to, actually, this is a good play here, take it all the way back to their own half, make sure they remain in control of the ball, even if they have to work their way forward again.
They all had full boost there as well, so basically setting up an entire wave of pressure there with Karmine Corp by going back, and this is that wave. Here's Astral. The waves on Aquadome may be too much for Team Liquid. So far, they're holding firm still. Oski beats Nolly there. But there's nobody there. They're low on boost, low on resources, can't do too much with the ball. Just trying to survive despite the strong end to the actual regular game that they had. 4 minutes of overtime has mostly seen Team Liquid surviving. But you can't take anything away from them for doing. And this is actually a chance for a clean hit maybe for Oski. Nolly was able to get in the way somehow, but Atao keeps the attack going. Oski gets in Atao's way. I don't mind that. That's good. That opens things up. A Chronic has a chance for a double tap. Nolly on the backboard sends it away. Is it Team Liquid's turn to get something going?
Ooh, yes, actually with that touch, there's a chance. Itachi not able to find the big clear, but Astral definitely set back up. And Nolly actually boxed out, and that's a great adjustment to change how he was going to go for that ball to make sure he didn't get bumped, shot towards target. And Astral, the only one to bail him out. Really liking the adaptability from K-Corp on defense. That was scary.
I'm liking that, but I'm also liking the way Team Liquid is starting to attack. Their pace is back, the pre-jumps are hitting, going for more bumps and demos as well to just knock Karmine Corp out of their stride. It's been effective so far, but other than that chance that was missed earlier on, not too many clear-cut ones.
Nolly all over the pitch right now. We're talking about his very fast pace in game one, and now on defense, trying to bring it to that side of the ball as well, along with Astral, but still, you're right. Team Liquid definitely starting to push a little bit. See if they can hang on to the ball, and that ball's right at Itachi. Tough break.
Ooh, the pass there from a Chronic. He wanted that one to be a little bit more central, just to try and dare Atao to go for a redirect, but not quite able to there. Now Itachi has some space in the sky. A Chronic gets in the way of him. More safe 50-50 play. A little bit boomable, actually, at this point now between both these teams. You can definitely tell that we're late into an overtime. I feel they're not moving forward as two as much. And when Team Liquid look their best, it's when 3 of them charge forward, take that risk, go for that demo. You know, maybe it backfires, but you have to want to win these games. You can't just avoid losing them forever.
A Chronic trying to do just that, really trying to put the pressure with a big dunk. We'll see. Liquid now that it's a little bit later, like you were saying, in that overtime they've kind of weathered the storm here at the start. Astral breaking through, but a Chronic thankfully back far enough to get a handle on things. And maybe K-Corp, if they win a challenge or two here, they go right back into the mix.
Seems like we're waiting for a player to make a mistake. I feel like nobody's really stepping up mechanically. No one wants this ball desperately as of this point.
It's been very consistent, I will say, for both teams. I mean, they've been put in some awkward spots on defense. Nothing that's too, like, unbearable, but, like, they've had to make sure they get a solid touch, or at the very least, not a bad one. And everybody's really just been delivering. I mean, you got to really appreciate the level of consistency that the defense for both teams has really been able to come out here and make sure the ball doesn't get into a spot that's untenable.
And from Karmine Corp in particular, I mean, this is a team that we know their highs are astronomical, but they throw away goals, you know, they triple commit, they give away freebies, and perhaps this is the new version of them since Nolly has come in for stake, where they can throw down a little bit more if that's what it comes to, if it does get a little bit ugly. This is a lesson they could have learned yesterday as well in the defeat to Semper eSports I mentioned. And now suddenly they can open things up. Here's Nolly. He has passes in the center. Atao gets in the way, and Itachi is rotating back. It can happen so quickly, Achieves, but again, not quite there. Chronic, does he have the flip reset? Just enough to get in the way of Nolly. Itachi gets in there next. Here's Atao, wants to put the pass in the center. That one almost bounces over Oski. Some dangerous moments are starting to come from some very stretched players who maybe are starting to tire.
I mean, all it takes is one of those players that's in charge of buying time to be a step or two forward or to the left or to the right. I mean, they're reading the game so incredibly well. I'm just amazed at how aggressive they're willing to try and play it. Pass to Atao all the way to the back corner, but way too wide. Chronic gets a nice block, and Oski's there. And of course, Astral one more time able to figure out where it's headed.
I feel like the finish could have been so much better, though. It's exactly where Astral wanted it. Where's that ball going? Is it going all the way in? Oski just about gets back in time, but will that shake some life into this overtime? Chronic just about misses it. Itachi up to the ceiling, wants to get a second touch here and a dunk on Atao. Atao just waits, doesn't want to give him too much or take too many risks, and that's more great pace from Nolly. He's already up as well. Going for an air bump. Is it going to fall to Astral? Not quite. Yet another not quite to add to the pile. Unbelievably, the overtime lives on.
Really trying to go for that cheeky wave dash, chip it off the corner of your car, pass to Itachi. He's not quite through Atao. Chronic needs to win the race. He's through Astral. Oski on transition. Can you beat the defense? But that one is pummeled off the backboard. No chance for anybody on Liquid.
Nolly is going to send this one away very gratefully towards Itachi, but Atao, he's got some boost now. Can he go for this flip reset? He wants to get the second touch instead. Back to the third one. That was a bit weak there from Nolly. A Chronic as well. The finishing just not quite there from Team Liquid when they do get themselves a rare opportunity to take a shot on this heavily defended Karmine Corp net. Wait, he's got him. He's one-on-one. He's over Oski. It maybe is going in. The bottom isn't there. Nolly arrives. Nolly puts it in from 2 inches away.
Oh, Itachi, the super fast recovery off the wall. Unfortunately, didn't turn it in himself. Needed a little help, but how about that speedy wave dash recovery to catch the guy going into the corner for boost? Get in front. Make sure you give your teammate at least the open look. K-Corp gonna deliver a second win there, and now you have to rewind about 5 minutes, maybe even 6 in that overtime, and you're thinking, oh, Liquid had a freebie.
It's a long way back now. Yeah, there was a freebie with the 2 K-Corp players demolished, and the pass and the finish just weren't quite there. But credit to Karmine Corp. You know, they survived. Even the end of the game itself, they had a huge wobble. They had more chances in overtime. The saves were ridiculous in this game as well. But look at that dribble. When Itachi came forward into the scene, that's what we expected from him, to open up games like this.
Yeah, it's certainly delivered. And him along with Nolly and Astral, it's kind of funny because you're thinking, man, where does Itachi kind of fit into these super aggressive and speedy players? And the answer is, you know, give him the ball. He'll be the one to slow pace down if he has to. And he knows that he's got teammates right behind him most of the time, that all he has to do is keep things in the box. And Itachi is more than capable of doing that. And he currently, I really like how K-Corp's looking. I mean, it feels like they're treading that very fine line of one step from out of control, and that is a beautiful and terrifying place to be, but they are handling it wonderfully. Especially
when you're against Team Liquid, a team who seem to love the chaos of Rocket League already. That's what we're experiencing from them. Well, there's some chaos from Itachi, that floor pinch, just absolutely booming its way around the map. But as it stands, all things being equal, we need Team Liquid to get 3 games in a row, or Karmine Corp, they make top 4 at least of the Dacia Spring Cup. Nolly tries to get them started in this 3rd game. Can they do it in a sweep? We have a pause requested here from Oski, so the players slow down.
There we go.
So a little bit of a break. for technical reasons. I'm sure they won't take too long. But this is a tense moment to bring up a break. I mean, you're 15. You're finally qualified for a regional. You're feeling this is the start of your career. How on earth do you not let the nerves overawe you right now?
Oh, boy. That's a wonderful question. Because if I remember myself at 15, it was just getting frustrated at everything that didn't go my way. I don't know if I could tell you the right answer to that. The mellowness really came with age. So hopefully they'll have some way. That was kind of the question we were talking about, after game 1 happened. It's like, man, how do you bounce back? And then game 2 happens, they kind of throw away the opportunity to answer, and K-Corp with a big lead now in the series. So this is a great test to see how you handle that type of pressure when you're that young. And it's not to say that I doubt them to be able to handle that. It's more just, what do they give you? And I think the next 5 minutes will be very telling, as it did appear that it was a Chronic who was lagging. So after we get everything sorted out, we'll get right back into this next game. But
I mean, that's for Karmine Corp Achieves. I mean, these are not serial winners, but they've all gone very, very far in regionals, if not having won one as well. They have a lot more experience. They should be more calm in these situations. But you have to remember that they are representing a huge French org in Karmine Corp. Absolutely massive over there. And they've never made it to a major. They are potentially on the cusp of doing so. And if they do, suddenly you're starting to look to Worlds if you are Karmine Corp. So this series truly could be a starting point for the rest of their season.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Kind of weird to say that it's in this third split now, and it's kind of like K-Corp, if you remember all the way back to the start of this season, it's like, boy, they're going to run the table with everybody. And it was
They won the preseason tournament, didn't they? It was then. They got a bracket reset against Vitality, BDS, somebody or other.
Oh, I don't remember. But they were like, we are the best team. And it was just like, wow, this is going to be awesome. And then it was just like the initial very sharp decline, and then the even slower, steadier decline. And it's like, okay, this is the Karmine Corp we were expecting the entire time. And it's really good to see it finally make its appearance here. And I have to agree, despite how late it is, still a chance for them to find a way to make it to the major, potentially Worlds. The whole thing is up for grabs for K-Corp, and it's really just a matter of can they string it together, because right now, like I said, 1 inch from out of control, that's either you crush souls or you collapse and everyone just looks at you like, what are you doing?
Well, they have shown that they do have fight in them, this Team Liquid, but Karmine Corp, they look more disciplined than we have ever seen them before. They don't seem like a team, and this could be very famous last words of Chiefs, that are going to suddenly throw, even if they lose this game fair and square, that would then go off on tilt and do something silly and get reverse swept and look back and think, how on earth did we lose that one? This seems like a team that can grind their way through a series if they have to grind their way through a series. But they're, of course, capable of doing so much more. Karmine Corp, I mean, I would be very surprised if they went on to lose this series the way they're playing, because they've won 2 very different types of games. Game 1, they were completely in control of. Game 2 was more of that awkward 50-50. They've won them both, and suddenly everything is in Karmine Corp's favor. Yeah,
capitalized on getting away with it, I should say. I wouldn't say capitalized, but they got away with making a tiny mistake in game 2, and game 1 was really the true stalemate, and then you have to win game 2 via an excellent play from one of your players. So it's always good to see them rally back. And K-Corp, that's kind of the other hurdle, in sort of the same vein as Liquid in terms of the mentality, because we do know a couple players over on K-Corp are a little prone to tilting out, and that can really throw off the vibe, so to speak, for a team here or there. But we'll see what they do here in game 3. You'd like to see K-Corp kind of come out here and come out swinging really fast and aggressive again in that first minute, and really kind of not lose the steam, so to speak, from the previous 2 games. Because
they look good.
The hardest and most irritating point of a series is closing it out. It always seems like it should be the easiest one if you're winning games, but closing it out is a lot harder than it sounds, I promise.
They look good, though, honestly. These guys, they look like they are full of concentration. Nothing has got to them. The technical pause that was on somebody on the other team, ultimately, that sort of thing can get you off your flow. Karmine Corp, though, they need to prove that they are very much still on their flow, still got this one going, and can beat Team Liquid. Team Liquid need a reverse sweep. Can they get it done? Let's find out. I mean, Nolly has been so involved in this series achieves. He got the winner in the last overtime. I mean, it was good work from Itachi, but it was ultimately Nolly that scored it. And the hat-trick in game number 1. He really is looking like a difference maker for Karmine Corp in this series and beyond.
He's got a lot of options, you know. He's got all the mechanics to set up for aggressive and assist-type plays, and he's got 2 great can openers, you know, in Itachi and Astral, that he can come forward and definitely put a strong shot on target. He's everything you could ask for, I think, for a team like Itachi and Astral. As Nolly gorgeous flick through one and stalls one out to set up Itachi. Can't quite find a bump on a Tau, but again, those boost steals really trying to hamper the ability for Team Liquid to transition out of their half cleanly and with support.
Oh, Oski almost got the edge of a bump there on Itachi, but Itachi just about managed to wriggle away. So important there that you don't concede a goal like that if you are Karmine Corp. If you concede a goal normally, that's fine. You don't want to be beaten all ends up by getting bumped in the air. Never nice. Oski, who really got Liquid on their way yesterday, beat Dimitas with that double flip reset. Tease up a Chronic. Can't quite get it on target, but Tau's keeping it going. And Team Liquid are looking a little bit faster right now, a little bit better. Can they capitalize? Unlike last game, a Chronic is coming in, just completely 50-50s that one with Nolly. And then Oski and Itachi coming in as well. And the ball seems to die somewhat. So Nolly should be able to get it away, but Tau keeps the attack going. And Itachi can only get half a touch out, but a Chronic misses. And it's these near touches, near misses from Liquid that seem like they're going to be their downfall.
This one really does remind me a lot of game 1 throughout this first half. It's been Team Liquid kind of throwing the hammer at the wall and seeing if it's going to hit the nail. It's not the most refined approach, but it is with a lot of force and speed. And who knows, that might be able to break them through eventually. But as we saw in game 1, K-Corp, very consistent and really unflappable defense.
Yeah, seems to rely on momentum, this play start from Team Liquid. As soon as you lose it, everything goes wrong, but Oski does recover for his teammate after a huge miss. Astral couldn't quite squeeze that one home. The first true chance there for Karmine Corp, and it was a reflex shot from Astral. Not sure he was expecting the chance, but that's good speed from a Chronic, who has shown that he can match the pace of a lobby like this one. Here he comes again. Nolly with a great save. A Tau is up, and a Tau is going to put it away for Team Liquid's first goal of the series somehow.
There's this tiny little clip right here as Oski catches Itachi trying to rotate in from the corner. Itachi may have been able to get up there and tip that ball off the crossbar, but little bump making sure to give a nice clean lane for Tau. Finally, a goal on the board for Team Liquid. That is their first goal of the series. Let's see if they can hold on to it.
Tau wants to keep this great start going. Look at the speed it's showing. One touch, then a second one in the corner there. A Chronic's up, could make it too. Itachi closes that shot at source, but it's more good play for Team Liquid. A Chronic and Oski now, they're racing for the ball, Team Liquid. I think it's working. It's starting to confuse Karmine Corp. The defense has been so solid, but right now, Liquid have that bit between their teeth, and they're not letting go at all. A Chronic's touch, though, not ideal, so Nolly can just dodge that one away, but it's only going as far as a Liquid player. And right now, every time KC clear the ball achieves, it's just going nowhere.
Ooh, well, here they've finally broken through, and a couple of nice blocks from Itachi. Another one, no, it's going to be down to Astral. Nolly's right behind him, though, not in position to take a strong shot on target. They had it set up nicely, though. The defense from Liquid definitely not in a position to handle that one, but thankfully neither was K-Corp.
That's Tau. He's going to have this ball all to himself. Nolly is already up the wall. Actually, he's just going to offer a pass out for Itachi, but the touch isn't great. All he can do is floor pinch it pretty much nowhere, and now Oski with some boost of his own can bring them both out. It was all good, but he did well from it, did Oski. And Liquid, generally, their touches are looking a lot more secure now than they were. Great touch from Tau to Oski. He wants to get the double. He gets it. Is it falling in the net? Yeah. Yes, it is. There were 22 minutes and 16 seconds before their first goal went in. Now they've got 2.
Fooled Astral here as well. He was thinking, oh no, I gotta save a shot to the top or maybe get up off the crossbar, and he just couldn't get up high enough, ended up running into the top and just collapsing away. Great control from Liquid on that transition. That's the second time in this game where it's really kind of been this long clear that finally got through that midfield of K-Corp. Dish to Itachi. Can he score it? Not quite. Oski all over it.
It's just a lovely goal there from Oski, that double tap, angling it in, taking the pace off the ball, seeing it in under the crossbar. Ooh, exactly what you want to see, unless you're a KC fan. But if you are a KC fan, you wouldn't mind this one being chunked. But what a touch from Oski again. I mean, their mechanics are brilliant. That's never been a question for this Team Liquid. And they are going to take their first game of the series, maybe with a 3-0. Wow, what a turnaround from Team Liquid.
It was like game 1, but actually for the other direction. Team Liquid, they just kind of popped in a goal here or there, and it makes the game look a lot more dominant than it really was for how long it was. This was a tight one for a very long time. And Team Liquid able to just squeeze a couple in there towards the end of the game and put this one firmly in their favor. And that might be the first crack in either defense we've seen. I think Astral not quite being able to get up to that backboard. That may be the first one. I mean, and that even wasn't saying too much. It was a beautiful setup. It definitely took it away from him as well. So had to take a nice play to get it done, but that was a great game overall from Team Liquid. What a show.
That second goal was just absolutely lovely from Oski. He has scored some big goals on this mainstream so far in his young career. And, you know, we talked about momentum, and as soon as Team Liquid got their goal, suddenly the chaos that they were showing off worked for them entirely. And Karmine Corp, for the first time, seemed unable to deal with it. Karmine Corp are a relatively strong team when they're a couple of games up, only been reverse swept once so far this season for all the series they've played. And that was back in Winter Regional 2 by Evil Geniuses. Just remembered that one off the top of my head. Obviously, I've got all this information baked in there. I'm not reading anything at Chiefs. What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's brilliant. I wish I had your steel trap of a mind.
Well, we're going to have to see the strength of Karmine Corp's mind right now. I talked about that pressure and what they want and making their first major for the org and maybe making Worlds. Now they've lost that game. Ooh. Suddenly that will start to be on their mind. And Liquid, they've got pretty much no pressure. They can make Landons, sure, but this is still very much the gaining experience part of their careers. So they can just attack everything in these next couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, when you're that young, 15, 16, all you want to do is go out there, go as fast as you can, and make everybody look like they don't know how to play this game. As Astral very narrowly misses that shot, and I would have lost my mind if that went into the net.
Yeah, I think he is definitely somebody that does know how to play this game, does Astral. Here he goes again, wanting to go solo. A couple of carries forward. Seems to be effective. Nolly wants to beat Atao there. I was about to say Atomic. He's not playing, of course. It's all these Onyx. There's a Chronic as well. Getting a little bit confusing, but, you know, that's up to them. They can call themselves whatever they want, these esports pros. Here is a Chronic. And as far as Nolly shoots Oski. He'd already pre-jumped the save. Astral beats him to the ball, though. Couple of bumps, couple of demos, and a goal.
That one got really squirrely. I was kind of thinking, oh, a bit of a weak shot. And Team Liquid, I think, thinking, oh, okay, we're going to be fine here, especially with that demo. And then bang. The recovery from Nolly just demos the only back line. And Team Liquid goes, no, we're not fine. And Astral with a great shot.
Great play from Karmine Corp just to bring themselves back to the top. Take themselves an all-important lead. Chronic is up. Lovely pass that wide towards Oski. Nolly underneath it, though, and we're sort of seeing the reverse from the last game, where suddenly it's every Team Liquid. There is a mistake there from Nolly. Just see if they can get away with that one. Yes, they can. It seems that every Team Liquid clearance seems to go to Karmine Corp, but now they're having a little bit of play in their opponent's half. Nolly with a good save from an infield pass, but here's another one, a Chronic high. Who's following up? It's nobody, and Itachi can send it wide.
Oh, and a big misread from Oski as well. Could have had a lot of pressure there, but they kind of get Astral's face way high, and unfortunately they don't have the people ready to try and capitalize on that. But what a way for Team Liquid to regain possession of the ball here.
Oski is just a flip reset master. After getting the flip reset, he just waited. He kept his eye on the defender in front of him and used it as the most dangerous time. Here's a Chronic to the skies. He gets it just wide. Would have been lovely from the ceiling, but not quite to be from Team Liquid. And that pass doesn't work either. And it seems the attack finally comes to an end for them. Oski gets the save on the other end. Yeah,
thankfully, there was a little mix-up, I think, in the timing there of K-Corp as they pushed upfield. I think Astral was thinking the demo was going to come through. Itachi was thinking, I'm going to go for the boost steal. And Team Liquid pressuring, but still not quite able to get through and find an equalizer. And another really nice hop for Astral. What's he do with it? Flip reset, tries to drop it low. And Chronic going to help out his teammates here with a clear.
I think Astral was trying to get a little bit more height onto that ball to put it into the top corner, and he just couldn't get his car around it. So it just fell onto where the goalkeeper was. But a lovely idea, a great angle there from Karmine Corp and Astral, who seems very effective mechanically in this fourth game, which is danger signs for Team Liquid, who need an equalizer in the next 2 minutes. Here's Itachi, a flip reset for himself. Astral's arriving! Oski's saving. That one could have gone in a Tao's own net, but thankfully for Team Liquid, it comes out.
Ooh, and the float across again for Astral. This one up towards the ceiling, and a Tao going to get up there. And so many options being covered by this Liquid defense. And here's Astral. This time he's going to need a little help. And just kidding, try and do it himself. Why not? I should have known better.
Yeah, it's not one of those games of Chiefs where Astral's going to look for passes. He has got a solo goal bubbling beneath the surface, and he's desperate to bring it out. A Chronic, though, is going to win this one cleanly. So that's where the ball falls to. Going solo again. Actually, he gets a good pass across the line to Nolly, who's arriving a little bit ahead of him. There's the hit back to Itachi. Did so well to dig out a decent hit there.
Wow.
Did Nolly when it wasn't quite working. Are these players going a little bit too solo? Is it becoming too predictable? Could that backfire for Karmine Corp? Oski tries to get a touch, and Liquid are coming in. They look more likely to bip the ball to each other in the center when they have these attacks going right now.
Ooh, a little weak from Itachi, and I don't know. That's actually a really good question. Is trying to utilize more advanced and dangerous mechanics kind of going to lead to a stagnation? It's to say, because more often than not, I think mechanics tend to make people second guess themselves as a Tao very narrowly muscles one through everybody.
Yeah, that was so close to falling to a Liquid player, but still 45 seconds until Karmine Corp see this series away. Nolly bumps Noski out of the way. A Chronic and a Tao. Both of them have to keep their communication up as a Tao then wants to go solo himself. He's got the flip reset, wants to get it over Itachi. There was so much to read there. There was ceiling, there was sky, there was ball. But in the end, no goal still. Karmine Corp continue to hold so close to a top 4 performance at least at the Dacia Spring Cup. And Atawi's being bumped out of the way. Itachi is already up for it. Can Karmine Corp finish it? Will they have to see it away? 15 more seconds. Nolly wants to clear it. The clearance isn't great, but Itachi in the perfect place. And there's Nolly on the side, slowing things down. An absolutely massive win. So close right now for KC. They just have to let this ball touch the ground, but Liquid are going to keep it up. Here's a Tao, wants to beat Astral, but can't do it. Brilliance all the way to the end. Karmine Corp guarantee top 4, and Team Liquid, they go out valiantly.